All right, so we're diving deep today into something we know you're really interested in, and that's building real confidence and empowerment.
Yeah, feeling empowered.
Exactly. And we get it. Everyone wants those actionable insights without, being totally overwhelmed by a mountain of information.
Right, like where do you even begin?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we've gone through everything, and we're bringing you the absolute key strategies for that self-belief and that feeling of taking charge.
Yeah. Think of this as your shortcut guide to like cultivating a more confident and just like empowered you.
Love that, a shortcut guide.
Yeah.
Foundational.
Right.
Yeah. And specifically, they're hitting on the power of self-belief.
Hmm.
I mean, this might sound kind of obvious, but, how do we actually tap into that?
Well, what's really interesting here is just how much your internal thoughts, they directly influence your confidence. You
It
know?
really is all connected.
Yeah, so the material emphasizes this like crucial first step
Hmm.
is really taking a look at your own thoughts and beliefs.
Right, taking stock.
Yeah, and recognizing, how profound of an impact your inner dialogue has.
And, it gets really specific, too, because we're advised to actually replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations.
Right.
I mean, that's something you can literally do right now. Like, it's not just, hoping for the best. It's actively challenging those negative voices with positive statements.
Yeah, it's so easy to get in that spiral of negative self-talk.
Totally. So, for example, if you're, constantly thinking, I can't do this, you consciously replace it with something like, I am capable.
Yeah, I love that example.
It's powerful, right?
Yeah, and this raises a really important question for you listening. Like, are you even truly aware of that, running commentary that's happening in your mind?
It's like background noise almost.
Yeah, and are you actively questioning those negative assumptions? This practice of positive affirmation. It's essentially like retraining those automatic thought patterns.
So we've talked about mindset, but the sources also highlight self-care, and its role in building confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's this clear connection they make between your physical well-being, things like eating well and exercising, and how confident you actually feel.
Yeah, I mean, if we like zoom out and look at the big picture, it's actually quite logical. When you prioritize your physical health, you're sending a really powerful message to yourself, like, I am worth taking care of.
It's like showing yourself love in a way.
Yeah, and that sense of self-worth, it directly impacts your self-esteem
Mm.
and just the energy that you project outwards. And these aren't just like abstract recommendations.
Right.
They're very tangible things that you can integrate into your routine. Like even just making sure you get enough sleep can make a difference in your confidence levels.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of tangible actions, the material also emphasizes the impact of achieving goals.
Oh yeah, goals are huge.
It explains that setting goals and, like, crucially actually accomplishing them, it just significantly boosts your confidence. That, like, each small success builds on the last, creating this, like, positive cycle of self-belief.
You get that momentum going.
Totally. I think of it like climbing a ladder, right? Each rung you conquer makes the next one just seem a little bit more achievable.
And what's key here is the reinforcement of self-efficacy. So basically your belief in your ability to actually succeed, in specific situations or accomplish a task.
Right.
So each goal you achieve, no matter how big or small it is, it provides concrete evidence that you're capable. It's not just about the final outcome. It's about that whole process of setting the intention, working towards it, experiencing that feeling of accomplishment.
So true, and that builds real momentum in your self-belief. But now this next area is particularly interesting because it goes beyond just, your own personal growth. The sources actually talk about the benefits of giving back to your community.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good point.
It brings a sense of joy, of course, but it also fosters empowerment through that act of making a difference.
Like paying it forward.
Exactly. And it's that idea that, like, having a positive impact on the world around you can actually boost your internal sense of strength and agency.
Absolutely.
Mm.
This ties in with, wanting to see things from different angles and understanding the broader implications of our actions.
Yeah.
So when you actually engage with your community, you're able to like look beyond just your own immediate concerns and contribute to something larger than yourself.
But the bigger picture.
Yeah, and that act of giving it can be incredibly empowering. It shifts your focus outward, and you cultivate a really strong sense of purpose, which then fuels confidence.
I love that. Okay, so to bring it all together, this deep dive into the material really reveals that building a confident and empowered life, it's not some like vague idea. you know?
But it's not just a concept.
It begins with that fundamental belief in yourself, a
Yeah.
belief that you can actively nurture and it's sustained through consistent actions, taking care of your well-being setting and achieving goals, and even just by contributing to the world around you.
Yeah, and I think the critical takeaway here is how interconnected all these elements are. Your
Huh.
mindset influences your actions. Your actions strengthen your mindset. It's
Yeah.
this positive feedback loop that you have the power to, like, initiate and control.
You have the power, and on that note, here's something we want you to think about today. Identify just one small negative thought that tends to pop up for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something you say to yourself all the time, and what if you consciously replaced it with a positive affirmation, just one? What kind of subtle shift might that create in your day and perhaps over time in your overall self-belief? Thanks for diving deep with us.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Until next time.
See ya.